My friends, what if I told you that within every single decision you make, from the most fleeting thought to the most monumental commitment, lies the undeniable power to fundamentally reshape your destiny? What if each choice, big or small, isn't just a moment in time, but a deliberate stroke on the canvas of your future, propelling you ever closer to the grand vision you hold for your life? But here's the truth, a truth many tragically overlook. Most people drift through life, unaware that each choice they make is a profound turning point. They allow circumstance to dictate their trajectory, rather than seizing the reins of their own creation. Why, I ask you, would you settle for stagnation when you could command your destiny? How, you ask? By acting as if every decision is the one that changes everything. The very moment you truly embrace this transformative mindset, hesitation, that insidious assassin of dreams, dies and unstoppable momentum becomes your new unwavering reality. Will you seize control, or will you merely watch as others move ahead, seizing the opportunities you let pass by? In the moments that follow, I shall unveil the profound principles that will empower you to transform every single decision you make into an unyielding stepping stone toward unstoppable progress, toward the life you were always meant to live. The unshakable belief, cultivating the mindset of inevitable progress. Imagine, if you will, waking up every single day with the unshakable, unwavering belief that every choice you make, every action you take, drives you closer to your ultimate vision, to the magnificent future you envision for yourself. Now, what would that profoundly look like for you? Would you move with more confidence, with a discernible sense of purpose that radiates from your very being? Would you choose your words more carefully, knowing they are seeds planted for future harvest? Understand this, my friends. Acting as if every decision propels you forward is not a mere exercise in fleeting positive thinking. No, it is the fundamental blueprint for manifesting your grandest goals, for bringing your most cherished dreams into tangible reality. Many, far too many, wander through life crippled by debilitating hesitation, shackled by the paralyzing fear of making the wrong move, of taking a misstep. But here, my friends, is the profound secret, an immutable truth. Indecision is, in itself, a decision. It is the insidious act of surrendering your innate power to mere circumstance, to the whims of the external world. When you consciously choose to act as if every decision truly matters, you transform hesitation into unstoppable momentum and doubt into unyielding certainty. Why? Because you are meticulously training your magnificent mind to believe that each and every step, no matter how seemingly small, carries the undeniable weight of your destiny. Consider the formidable figure of Cornelius Vanderbilt, an American business magnate from the 19th century. He did not, my friends, wait for perfect conditions to begin his ventures. He acted as if his decisions would inevitably lead to success, and they did. While others hesitated, while others doubted the profound value of steamships, Vanderbilt, with absolute unwavering conviction, invested. He didn't merely hope for success. No, he assumed it, and that profound assumption, that unshakable belief, became an undeniable reality. This, my friends, is the very essence of acting as if, turning belief into a living, breathing, formidable force that moves mountains. But ask yourself, honestly, how often do you second-guess your own immense abilities? How many times have you paused at the very edge of unparalleled opportunity, paralyzed by an insidious fear of the unknown? Acting as if, my friends, strips away the debilitating luxury of doubt. It compels you to step boldly, with unwavering conviction, into the unknown, guided not by mere certainty, but by profound, unshakable conviction. The path forward is deceptively simple. Decide unequivocally that every choice you make is relentlessly moving you closer to precisely what you desire. Act with the profound, unwavering confidence of someone who has already succeeded, who has already achieved their deepest desire. Let hesitation, that insidious enemy, die in the sacred fire of your own unwavering determination. When you move with that kind of unwavering purpose, my friends, the universe itself has no choice but to yield to your undeniable will. So I ask you, will you act as if every decision propels you forward? Or will you permit the insidious tide of doubt to wash away your grandest ambition, leaving you stranded in a sea of regret, transforming obstacles into stepping stones? The foundation of resilience. Picture, if you will, the seemingly insurmountable obstacles in your path not as impenetrable barriers, but as indispensable stepping stones, meticulously placed to elevate you to greater heights. What if every setback, every apparent failure was simply a divine redirection, a carefully orchestrated detour towards something even greater, something far more profound than you could have ever initially imagined, acting as if every challenge, every adversity is an integral part of your meticulously designed blueprint for success, my friends, is the very cornerstone of unyielding resilience, because when you possess this profound mindset, you are not merely enduring hardship, you are unequivocally advancing. Most people, sadly, perceive difficulty as a formidable stop sign, an insurmountable barrier. But for those rare individuals who act as if every challenge is a boundless opportunity, obstacles become the very thing that relentlessly sharpens their edge, honing their abilities to an unparalleled degree. Understand this immutable truth. You are either a perpetual victim of circumstance, or you are its undeniable master. The profound choice, my friends, is unequivocally yours. Consider the extraordinary journey of Benjamin Disraeli, a man who against all odds rose to become the Prime Minister of Great Britain despite countless debilitating setbacks. He failed repeatedly, profoundly, in his early political career. But instead of retreating, instead of succumbing to despair, he acted as if every single failure was merely another inevitable step closer to his eventual, undeniable triumph. He perceived the obstacles not as reasons to surrender, not as insurmountable barriers, but as compelling reasons to relentlessly sharpen his resolve, to strengthen his unwavering determination. Consider your own unique journey, my friend. That promotion you agonizingly missed might, in hindsight, have miraculously spared you from a role that would have tragically stifled your true innate talent. The relationship that ended painfully, leaving an emotional void, likely created the necessary, sacred space for someone who truly recognizes your inherent worth, someone who values you for who you authentically are. The business failure that brought you to your knees, that left you feeling utterly defeated, ultimately taught you invaluable, indelible lessons that no amount of success could have ever possibly provided. The ancient Stoics, masters of profound wisdom, understood this principle perfectly. Marcus Aurelius, with profound insight, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Modern psychology, with its scientific rigor, unequivocally confirms this timeless wisdom through extensive research on post-traumatic growth, the profound positive transformation that frequently follows life's greatest, most harrowing challenges. To cultivate this transformative mindset, my friends, follow these fundamental steps. First, pause when you inevitably face obstacles. Rather than reacting with immediate frustration, ask yourself profoundly, what is this teaching me? Where is this directing me? This simple, yet powerful reframing immediately activates your problem-solving abilities rather than your ingrained defense mechanisms, allowing your mind to seek solutions, not merely justification. Second, study the obstacle itself with meticulous precision. Like a mighty river flowing effortlessly around unyielding rocks, identify the path of least resistance without for a single moment abandoning your ultimate destination, your unwavering vision. Sometimes, my friends, the detour reveals landscapes you never would have discovered otherwise, offering new perspectives and unforeseen opportunities. Finally, recognize with profound clarity that obstacles by their very nature filter out the uncommitted, the faint of heart. When others retreat, when others succumb to despair, your unwavering willingness to persist becomes your undeniable competitive advantage. The obstacle itself, ironically, becomes the very opportunity for your profound growth and triumph. Reflect for a moment, my friend. How do you currently view the seemingly insurmountable barriers in your life? Do you curse them, succumbing to frustration? Do you shrink back in debilitating fear? Or do you, with unwavering conviction, act as if each one is meticulously guiding you towards a stronger, more resilient, and ultimately more magnificent version of yourself? Acting as if every difficulty is an essential stepping stone requires immense mental fortitude. Yes, but it is unequivocally the very foundation upon which true greatness is meticulously built. The ultimate question remains, my friends: will you courageously use your obstacles to profoundly elevate yourself, or will you passively allow them to irrevocably define you? The choice, as always, is profoundly yours. Building unshakable confidence. The proof comes after the belief. Confidence, my friends, is not an inherent trait that one is simply born with. No, it is meticulously built, brick by undeniable brick, decision by unwavering decision, acting as if every step you take is one toward your highest self, toward the magnificent individual you are destined to become, instills a level of confidence that is utterly unyielding, an inner certainty that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. This, my friends, is not arrogance. It is profound assurance, a deep-seated knowing that you are on the right path. Far too many people, sadly, wait for tangible proof before they allow themselves to truly believe. But here, my friends, is the profound truth. The proof comes after the belief, not before. You cannot, my friends, wait for unequivocal evidence of success before you act with profound confidence. Confidence, by its very nature, is the audacious act of believing before you truly see the concrete result. Consider the extraordinary journey of Andrew Carnegie, who, through sheer force of will and unwavering belief, built a colossal steel empire in America. He was not born into wealth, nor did he inherit his vast empire. No, he acted as if he unequivocally belonged at the very top, long before he ever physically got there. Every handshake, every meticulous business decision, every strategic investment he made, he acted with the profound confidence of a man who already possessed, in his mind's eye, everything he desired. That unshakable mindset, that unwavering belief, forged his empire. The science, my friends, behind this powerful approach is utterly compelling. When you act with profound confidence, your very body chemistry undergoes a remarkable transformation. Cortisol levels, those insidious stress hormones, plummet, while testosterone and serotonin, the powerful hormones of confidence and well-being, demonstrably rise. Your posture dramatically improves. Your voice resonates with a deeper, more authoritative tone, and others, inexplicably, respond differently to your very presence, drawn to your aura of certainty. The biological reality, my friends, seamlessly follows the psychological commitment. Begin this transformative journey with your physical presence. Stand tall, with an unwavering sense of purpose. Speak clearly, with conviction in every syllable. Move purposefully, with intention in every stride. Your magnificent body does not, my friends, know the profound difference between genuine, authentic confidence and merely acted confidence. It responds identically to both, creating a powerful, virtuous feedback loop that over time transforms mere pretense into undeniable reality. Next, meticulously eliminate self-diminishing language from your vocabulary. Replace the hesitant "I'll try" with the resolute "I will," the uncertain "I hope" with the unwavering "I know," and the apologetic "I'm sorry" with the empowered "thank you." The language you consistently use, my friends, subtly yet powerfully programs your subconscious mind and profoundly shapes how others perceive your inherent authority, your undeniable command. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, courageously embrace challenges that instinctively frighten you, that push you beyond your comfort zone. Each and every time you step boldly beyond your comfort zone and miraculously survive, you meticulously build irrefutable evidence for your immense capacity to handle uncertainty, which is, my friends, the very cornerstone of unshakable, ironclad confidence. Now look deeply into your own life. How many times have you held back, paralyzed, waiting for absolute certainty before taking action. How often have you doubted your own immense capacity simply because you had yet to see the tangible fruits of your labor, the undeniable proof of your efforts? Acting as if you are destined to succeed, my friends, eliminates debilitating hesitation and instills an unshakable sense of profound purpose that no external circumstance, no amount of adversity can ever possibly shake. To begin this transformative journey, act with the profound confidence of a person who has already achieved precisely what they desire. When you speak, speak with unwavering authority. When you move with undeniable intent. Let your actions, my friends, eloquently reflect the deep-seated belief that you are unequivocally on the path to greatness. So I ask you, will you act as if you are destined for profound success? Or will you passively wait for proof that tragically may never ever come? The choice, as always, is unequivocally yours. Acting as if every decision you make truly matters forces you to consciously develop the indispensable habit of unwavering decisiveness. When you move with profound purpose, you utterly eliminate the paralyzing grip of indecision and replace it with the unstoppable power of relentless momentum. History, my friends, distinctly remembers those who act, those who courageously take the leap, not those who merely wait, paralyzed by uncertainty. She was told countless times unequivocally that medicine was not a field for women, that it was utterly unsuitable for her. But she, with unwavering conviction, acted as if it was already her undeniable destiny. She did not wait for permission. No, she decided unequivocally and moved forward with unshakable conviction. Her profound decisiveness, her unwavering resolve, opened doors that were once considered permanently sealed shut. Now ask yourself honestly, how often do you hesitate when opportunity, knocking insistently, presents itself at your door? How many truly invaluable chances have you tragically missed because you were perpetually waiting for the elusive right time? Understand this immutable truth. There is no such thing as a right time. There is only unequivocally now. Acting as if every decision propels you relentlessly forward, my friends, eliminates debilitating doubt and profoundly empowers immediate purposeful action. The world, I assure you, unequivocally rewards decisive action. Every truly successful leader, every groundbreaking innovator, every transformative changemaker in human history shares this profound common trait. They decide quickly, with unwavering conviction, and commit fully, wholeheartedly to their chosen path, while others endlessly deliberate, paralyzed by analysis. The decisive few gain precious, unstoppable momentum. This momentum, my friends, creates a powerful, undeniable forward motion that sweeps aside seemingly insurmountable obstacles and magnetically attracts unforeseen opportunities. No, it is about making timely ones, making them with unwavering conviction and moving forward with purpose. The universe, my friends, has a peculiar yet profound way of rewarding motion, of recognizing purposeful action. A decision courageously made today, even if it requires a slight adjustment tomorrow, yields far more profound results than perfect planning that tragically never culminates in execution. Consider this profound truth. For every opportunity you hesitate on, for every chance you let slip by, someone else somewhere is diligently seizing it. In business, in relationships, and in your personal growth, the decisive individual, the one who acts with unwavering purpose, unequivocally claims the formidable advantage. They profoundly understand that an imperfect decision, courageously executed with unwavering conviction, invariably outperforms a perfectly crafted plan that tragically remains forever unimplemented. Make decisions quickly and with unshakable confidence in your everyday situations. Choose a restaurant without meticulously reviewing the entire menu. Select a workout without endlessly debating every single option. Respond to messages promptly, with decisive action, rather than permitting them to linger, consuming your invaluable mental energy. Meticulously train your mind to act with unwavering purpose by establishing clear, unwavering decision deadlines. Grant yourself precisely 30 seconds for minor choices, a focused hour for moderate ones, and a dedicated day for major, life-altering decisions. This consistent practice, my friends, meticulously builds your decision-making muscle and effectively prevents the insidious paralysis of over-analysis. When you practice unwavering decisiveness consistently, hesitation, that formidable enemy, falls away, and boundless opportunity begins to undeniably unfold before your very eyes. Your confidence, I assure you, grows exponentially with each courageous decision, creating a powerful, virtuous cycle of purposeful action and undeniable achievement. So, I ask you, will you decide to act with unwavering conviction and courageously seize your destiny? Or will you merely wait passively and watch others pass you by, leaving you in their wake? The profound choice and its inevitable consequences are unequivocally yours alone. Turning vision into reality, bridging dreams with action. Vision, my friends, is the nascent seed of all achievement. Action, however, is the life-giving water that makes it grow, that brings it into vibrant, tangible reality. Acting as if your grand vision is already a tangible reality, my friends, is precisely what bridges the seemingly insurmountable gap between dreams and their ultimate undeniable manifestation. When you diligently act as if you powerfully align your thoughts, your words and your actions with that grand, unwavering vision, creating a magnetic force that draws your desired future into your present reality. Consider the extraordinary journey of Thomas Edison, who, with unwavering conviction, acted as if his profound vision of the electric light was not only possible but utterly inevitable. He did not, my friends, perceive his thousands of failed attempts as crushing failure. No, he profoundly understood them as indispensable stepping stones to eventual undeniable success. He acted as if the electric light had already been miraculously invented, and his unyielding persistence, his relentless pursuit, made it so. Now, I ask you honestly, do you treat your own cherished dreams as inevitable, as something destined to occur, or do you merely hope for them, passively wishing for their arrival? Acting as if, my friends, brings your vision powerfully into the present moment, making it profoundly real long before it becomes tangible, long before it manifests physically. To do this, speak as if, move as if, believe as. This profound mindset creates a powerful, undeniable magnetic force that relentlessly draws necessary resources, invaluable connections and unforeseen opportunities toward you. When you embody your grand vision with absolute, unwavering conviction, people note, they feel your profound certainty, and they are inexplicably compelled to participate, to contribute to your undeniable success. Opportunities miraculously appear, invaluable connections spontaneously form, and pathways emerge that were previously utterly invisible to you. Acting as if, my friends, means making pivotal decisions today, based on tomorrow's undeniable reality, based on the future you are meticulously creating. It means speaking about your grand vision in the present tense, with unshakable certainty, not as a mere future possibility. It means meticulously arranging your environment to profoundly reflect what is coming, what is manifesting, not merely what currently exists. It means diligently investing in the skills you will unequivocally need when your magnificent vision materializes, not just those serving your current situation. Begin this transformative practice by immersing yourself deeply in the vivid sensory detail of your vision. How does your vision look, feel, and sound? What daily actions would be utterly natural if your vision were already a tangible reality? Incorporate these elements, however small, into your daily routine. Each aligned action, no matter how minor, strengthens your profound belief and powerfully signals to others that your magnificent vision is undeniably unfolding. Now, remember, my friends, that doubt is the insidious assassin of dreams. When uncertainty inevitably creeps in, return relentlessly to your unwavering conviction. Every visionary, every great creator, faces moments of profound doubt, but they resolutely refuse to let temporary feelings, fleeting emotions derail their permanent, unyielding ambition. They act as if success is absolutely certain, especially when the external evidence in its deceptive appearance suggests otherwise. So, I ask you, will you act as if your vision is already a tangible reality, or will you passively wait for the world to believe in it first, before you truly commit? The creators who profoundly change history never wait for permission, never seek external validation. They simply relentlessly act as if, until vision and reality become utterly indistinguishable, until their dreams become the world's reality. Mastering the art of persistence, unwavering faith in the unseen path. When you truly act as if every single decision propels you relentlessly forward, you undeniably embrace the formidable power of unyielding persistence. Understand this profound truth. persistence is not just about merely pushing through seemingly insurmountable obstacles. No, it is about moving with unwavering faith, with an unshakable belief, even when the path ahead is utterly unclear, shrouded in uncertainty. Most people, sadly, quit not because they are inherently incapable, not because they lack the necessary skills, but because they simply cannot endure the sheer, overwhelming weight of sustained effort through uncertain, acting as if every step, every single action is undeniable progress, transforms agonizing waiting into diligent, purposeful building. Consider the extraordinary dedication of William Wilberforce, a politician who courageously dedicated his entire life to abolishing the slave trade in the vast British Empire. He fought tirelessly for decades, facing relentless opposition and countless crushing failures. Yet through it all he acted as if victory, the ultimate triumph of justice, was utterly inevitable. His unyielding persistence, his unwavering commitment, ultimately paid off when the Slavery Abolition Act was finally passed in 1833, a monumental testament to the profound power of unwavering belief married to relentless action. But how do you respond, my friends, when you are inevitably met with fierce resistance, when the world seems to push back against your noble endeavors? Do you falter? Do you succumb to doubt? Or do you, with unwavering conviction, act as if persistence is the only option available to you? When you view every single setback, every apparent failure as simply another indispensable step forward, you utterly eliminate the insidious illusion of ultimate failure. It is not, my friends, the end. No, it is merely the beginning of your profound refinement, the crucible through which your true strength is forged. The journey of persistence requires a profound, fundamental mental shift. You must unequivocally recognize that most achievements truly worth pursuing demand sustained, unwavering effort through extended periods of uncertain. History's greatest accomplishments, those monumental achievements that have reshaped the world, were meticulously built on countless invisible moments of unyielding perseverance, moments when giving up seemed utterly rational, utterly logical. Persistence, my friends, has the remarkable power to transform ordinary talent into extraordinary achievement. The marketplace, I assure you, is tragically filled with brilliant minds who sadly abandon their profound visions prematurely. Your unwavering willingness to endure, to persist, when others retreat, becomes your undeniable competitive advantage. This unyielding resilience, my friends, is what irrevocably separates mere dreamers from genuine, undeniable achievers. The secret to mastering unyielding persistence, my friends, lies in your daily habits, in the consistent application of small, purposeful actions. Break overwhelming, seemingly insurmountable goals into manageable, bite-sized actions. Celebrate small victories, those incremental advances that others might, in their haste, tragically overlook. Create meticulously designed systems that make persistence your default response, your automatic mode of operation, rather than requiring constant, exhausting willpower. When fatigue or insidious doubt inevitably emerge, return, relentlessly, to your profound purpose, to your unwavering why. Your why, my friends, must be far, far stronger than any fleeting why not. Remember that persistence is not blind stubbornness. No, it profoundly requires strategic adaptation. The persistent mind meticulously evaluates results, courageously adjusts approaches, and remains utterly committed to the ultimate destination, while remaining profoundly flexible about the specific. This delicate yet powerful balance between unwavering resolve and tactical flexibility is the undeniable hallmark of masterful persistence. In moments of profound uncertainty, act as if the outcome is already irrevocably secure. This unshakable conviction creates a powerful psychological foundation that relentlessly supports continued action despite any discouraging external evidence. Your profound belief, my friends, becomes the sturdy, unyielding bridge that carries you through the inevitable desolate valleys of doubt. To master persistence, decide today, with absolute clarity, that quitting is simply not an option, not a possibility for you. Meticulously train your mind to act with relentless faith, moving relentlessly forward, regardless of how the current situation appears, regardless of the fleeting external circumstance. When you courageously adopt this unshakable mindset, my friends, you transform yourself into an undeniable, unstoppable force, a force that simply cannot be deterred,
a force that cannot be stopped. So, I ask you, will you act as if every step forward truly matters, even when the progress is invisible to the external world, even when no one else can see your diligent efforts? The choice, as always, is profoundly yours.
Elevating your standards, refusing to compromise on greatness. Every single choice you make, my friends, either propels you unequivocally toward greatness or anchors you irrevocably to the debilitating shores of mediocrity. When you act as if each decision, no matter how small, profoundly shapes your ultimate destiny, you naturally and inevitably elevate your standards. This, my friends, isn't about the fleeting pursuit of perfectionism. No, it is about an unyielding refusal to compromise on what truly unequivocally matters, on what truly serves your highest vision. Consider the visionary George Westinghouse, who, with unwavering conviction, championed alternating current when direct current utterly dominated the nascent market. While his skeptical competitors mocked his audacious approach, Westinghouse operated with unshakable conviction. He didn't merely hope AC would succeed. He acted as if its triumph, its ultimate widespread adoption, was utterly inevitable. This elevated standard, this profound belief, drove him to innovate relentlessly, to develop groundbreaking technologies that would ultimately electrify the entire modern world. Understand this profound truth, my friends. Your standards aren't just mere preferences. They are unequivocally predictions. When you demand unwavering excellence from yourself, excellence by its very nature becomes your undeniable reality. Conversely, when you tolerate mediocrity, when you passively accept less than your best, mediocrity inevitably becomes your ceiling, your limiting factor. Ask yourself honestly, would the magnificent person you aspire to become, the individual you are striving to be, accept your current standards? Would they make the very compromises you make daily? Would they invest their invaluable time and energy as you currently do? Elevated standards, my friends, begin with profound awareness. Notice meticulously where you have been settling in your work, in your relationships, in your health, or in your personal growth. These insidious compromises often masquerade as practicality or realism, but they are almost invariably fear in cunning disguise. Start small with a single courageous step. Choose one area where you have been accepting less than you unequivocally deserve. Perhaps it's allowing relentless interruptions during your sacred creative work, tolerating subtle disrespect in a relationship that drains your spirit, or rushing mindlessly through truly important tasks. Establish a new, unyielding standard and honor it religiously with unwavering dedication. Your standards, my friends, meticulously create boundaries around what you will unequivocally accept and what you will resolutely reject. When you courageously elevate these boundaries, you automatically, effortlessly eliminate influences, habits, and relationships that no longer serve your grand, unwavering vision. This transformative process, my friends, requires profound courage. Elevated standards often mean saying no more frequently, disappointing others occasionally, and courageously facing your own ingrained resistance to change. But the alternative, living perpetually below your immense potential, exacts a far, far greater price. Each insidious compromise, each acceptance of mediocrity, chips away at your profound belief in what is truly possible for your magnificent life. So, I ask you, will you act as if your standards, your unwavering demands determine your destiny? Because, my friends, they do. Embracing discomfort is growth, the path to unattainable potential. Comfort, my friends, is the silent, insidious killer of unparalleled potential. When you passively settle into routines that demand nothing new, nothing challenging from you, growth becomes utterly impossible. Not merely difficult, but genuinely unattainable. The human spirit, like muscle tissue, develops profound strength only when it is courageously pushed beyond its current capacity, beyond its perceived limits. This fundamental truth, my friends, reveals why embracing discomfort isn't merely advisable. No, it is utterly essential for anyone truly serious about profound transformation, about reaching their highest self. Consider the extraordinary leadership of Horatio Nelson at the momentous Battle of Trafalgar, facing a formidable superior Franco-Spanish fleet. Conventional wisdom, in its cautiousness, dictated extreme caution. Yet Nelson didn't just accept the challenge. He profoundly amplified it by devising an unconventional, audacious battle strategy that required sailing directly into enemy crossfire, into the heart of danger. Why, you ask? Because he profoundly understood that breakthrough achievements demand breakthrough discomfort. His unwavering willingness to embrace vulnerability, to willingly step into the abyss of danger, led to Britain's most decisive naval victory, forever changing the course of European history. This profound principle, my friends, transcends mere battlefields. Every meaningful advancement in human history, whether scientific, artistic, philosophical, or personal, emerged from someone's unwavering willingness to endure discomfort that others instinctively avoided, to face challenges head-on. Einstein's revolutionary theories weren't born from intellectual ease, but from relentlessly confronting profound paradoxes that utterly bewildered his contemporaries, that challenged the very fabric of established thought. Rosa Parks didn't change America by seeking comfort, but by deliberately stepping into discomfort that profoundly transformed a nation, that ignited a movement for justice. Ask yourself honestly, my friends, what uncomfortable conversations are you currently avoiding? Conversations that hold the key to profound breakthroughs. What invaluable skills remain tragically undeveloped because learning them feels awkward, feels uncomfortable? What cherished dreams remain unrealized because pursuing them means risking potential failure or public judgment? These probing questions, my friends, reveal the invisible yet powerful boundaries that comfort has insidiously established in your life, subtly constraining your immense potential. When you courageously act as if discomfort is not an insurmountable obstacle, but a powerful, unerring compass pointing directly toward your greatest potential, toward your highest self, everything, my friends, absolutely everything profoundly changes. Rejection transforms into redirection, a guiding hand. Criticism, that insidious poison, transforms into profound refinement, a catalyst for improvement. Failure, that dreaded monster, converts into invaluable education, a stepping stone to deeper wisdom. The very experiences that most people instinctively dread, the very challenges they flee from, become the ones you secretly welcome, knowing deep in your soul that they contain the fertile seeds of your profound evolution, of your ultimate transformation. This profound mindset shift doesn't happen passively, my friends. It requires deliberate, unwavering practice, regularly choosing the harder path, specifically because it is harder, because it demands more from you. Start your day with the most challenging task, instead of instinctively gravitating toward the easiest. Courageously engage with perspectives that challenge your thinking, rather than merely reinforcing your existing beliefs. Pursue physical training that relentlessly pushes your limits, rather than merely maintaining your current comfortable capacity. The paradox, my friends, is truly beautiful. Those who perpetually seek comfort find themselves increasingly fragile, increasingly susceptible to life's inevitable storms, while those who regularly diligently embrace discomfort develop remarkable unyielding resilience. Your nervous system quite literally rewires itself to handle greater challenges when consistently exposed to manageable, purposeful stress. Masters in every domain, my friends, understand this principle intuitively. They don't just tolerate discomfort, they actively pursue it, knowing with unshakable certainty that it is the only path to true mastery, to unparalleled excellence. They've discovered that temporary discomfort, those moments of unease, trade minutes of fleeting unease for years of profound, unwavering capability, for a lifetime of boundless potential. So I ask you, will you continue avoiding what instinctively feels difficult, or will you, with unwavering resolve, act as if discomfort is your most powerful, most profound teacher? The undeniable quality of your future, my friends, depends irrevocably on this single pivotal choice. Leveraging time as an ally, the architect of your hours,
Time, my friends, the great equalizer that grants each and every person precisely 24 hours daily, yet yields dramatically profoundly different returns. Some with masterful intent transform these identical hours into sprawling empires, into timeless masterpieces, and into enduring legacies that resonate through the ages. Others, sadly, watch them dissolve into nothingness, leaving only regret and unfulfilled potential in their wake. The profound distinction lies not in merely having time, but in how you perceive it, as a dwindling resource to be consumed, or as a powerful, invaluable ally to be meticulously leveraged. Consider the visionary James J. Hill, the driving force behind the Great Northern Railway. Without the vast government subsidies that supported his competitors, Hill courageously built a transcontinental railroad that not only survived, but profoundly thrived when countless others tragically failed. His secret, my friends, wasn't access to more hours than his rival. No, it was his profound, unwavering relationship with those hours. Hill acted as if each moment carried profound significance, methodically laying track mile by meticulous mile across America's vast northern frontier. He didn't merely use it, he invested it with surgical precision, understanding with profound clarity that consistent, purposeful action compounds just as powerfully, just as exponentially as interest in a bank. This profound perspective transforms how you approach each and every day. When you perceive time as your invaluable ally rather than your formidable adversary, procrastination becomes utterly unthinkable. Why, I ask you, would you postpone undeniable progress when each fleeting moment offers a profound opportunity to advance, to move closer to your grandest vision? The urgency you feel isn't born from anxiety or fear, but from a profound recognition of boundless potential. Each hour, each moment holds possibilities that once passed vanish forever. Most people, sadly, unconsciously adopt a passive relationship with time. They speak of spending time or killing time, language that unmistakably reveals how they view this precious resource as something to be diminished, rather than multiplied, rather than leveraged. They allow circumstances, incessant notifications, and others' priorities to dictate how their irreplaceable hours are meticulously allocated. The alternative, my friends, requires a radical, fundamental shift, treating time as your most valuable investment opportunity, your most precious asset. Just as a skilled investor meticulously scrutinizes where each dollar goes, you must become equally intentional, equally purposeful about where each minute of your life flows. This doesn't mean eliminating leisure or rest. Quite the contrary, my friend. It means ensuring that everything, including your invaluable relaxation, serves your larger overarching vision rather than tragically distracting from it. Begin this transformative process by diligently conducting a meticulous time audit for 1 week. Meticulously track with profound honesty precisely where your hours truly go. The results, I assure you, often shock even the most disciplined individuals, revealing how unconscious habits consume massive chunks of our precious lives. Next, establish clear, unyielding boundaries around your most productive periods. Defend these sacred time blocks with the ferocity of someone protecting their most valuable possession, because that, my friends, is precisely what they are. Eliminate the false urgency that modern life relentlessly manufactures. Most so-called emergencies that interrupt your deep focus are not in fact emergencies at all. They are merely other people's preferences cleverly disguised as your urgent priority. Learn to distinguish between what is truly time-sensitive and what can patiently wait. Paradoxically, leveraging time often means courageously slowing down to ultimately speed up. Strategic pauses for profound reflection prevent the busy work that creates mere motion without genuine progress. Regular intervals of deliberate, focused thinking ensure you are meticulously building the right track, not just building track rapidly in the wrong, misguided direction. The compound effect of this approach, my friends, is staggering. Small, consistent investments of focused time create exponential returns that appear almost magical, almost miraculous, to outside observers. While others wonder where your lucky break came from, you will know. with unshakable certainty that it emerged from thousands of moments intentionally directed toward your grand, unwavering vision. So, I ask you, will you continue surrendering your invaluable hours to circumstance, or will you transform them into powerful allies diligently working relentlessly for your magnificent future? The choice, as always, is profoundly yours. Cultivating unyielding faith, the bridge to unseen reality. Faith, my friends, is not the mere absence of doubt, but the unwavering commitment to action despite it. In a world fixated on immediate evidence and instant validation, the profound ability to maintain unwavering belief in what remains unseen, what has not yet manifested, represents perhaps the most powerful force in human achievement. This, my friends, is not blind optimism, a naive hope. No, it is the disciplined practice of holding fast to your vision when circumstances, in their deceptive appearance, scream otherwise. Consider the extraordinary Florence Nightingale, whose unwavering convictions profoundly transformed modern medicine. Born to privilege in Victorian England, she courageously rejected a comfortable aristocracy to pursue what she profoundly considered a divine calling to nursing, a profession then widely viewed as utterly unsuitable work for respectable women. During the brutal Crimean War, she entered squalid, horrifying military hospitals where mortality rates exceeded a staggering 40%. Rather than surrendering to overwhelming evidence of inevitable failure, Nightingale acted as if transformation, an undeniable improvement, was utterly inevitable. Her faith wasn't passive hope. No, it manifested in meticulous data collection, rigorous sanitation protocols, and relentless advocacy for change. Through her unwavering belief in profound possibility, mortality rates plummeted to a miraculous 2%, and the very foundations of modern nursing unequivocally emerged. What then distinguishes this kind of profound faith from mere wishful thinking? It is the powerful, inseparable marriage of unshakable vision with unflinching, purposeful action. Nightingale didn't merely believe hospitals could improve. She diligently implemented systems that made improvement utterly inevitable, that made it a certainty. Her profound faith created an unyielding bridge between present limitations and future breakthrough. Faith of this unparalleled caliber requires deliberate, meticulous cultivation. It begins with unwavering mental discipline, consistently directing your thoughts toward boundless possibility rather than insidious limitation. When obstacles inevitably arise, train yourself to profoundly ask, what's the opportunity hidden within this formidable challenge? Rather than the self-pitying, why is this happening to me? This subtle yet powerful shift prevents temporary setbacks from becoming permanent, insurmountable barriers. Equally crucial is surrounding yourself with compelling evidence of possibility. Study meticulously those who have already accomplished what you seek, those who have walked a similar path. Immerse yourself deeply in their journeys, focusing not just on their ultimate triumphs, but on their profound struggles and how they courageously maintained faith through them. Their stories, my friends, become invaluable fuel when your own reserves of belief run dangerously low. Practice speaking the language of absolute certainty. Eliminate hesitant phrases like "I'll try" or "I hope to" from your vocabulary, replacing them with powerful declarations of unwavering commitment. Use "I will" and "I am." This isn't mere semantic gameplay, my friend. It's powerful neurological programming that fundamentally shapes how you approach monumental challenges. Perhaps most importantly, act as if success is utterly inevitable, not because you're guaranteed specific outcomes, but because you implicitly trust the profound process of growth itself. True faith, my friends, unequivocally acknowledges that while the exact path may shift, may deviate, the ultimate destination remains fixed, remains unwavering. This profound perspective transforms setbacks from crushing failures into mere redirection. Criticism, that insidious poison, transforms from discouragement into profound refinement. Faith of this nature creates a powerful paradox. It requires believing in what you cannot yet see, in what is still unseen, while simultaneously making that invisible vision increasingly visible through consistent, unwavering action. It demands holding two seemingly contradictory truths simultaneously, acknowledging present reality while courageously acting as if future reality already unequivocally exists. The cultivation of such unyielding faith, my friends, isn't optional for extraordinary achievement. No, it is utterly essential. In the profound words of William James, belief creates the actual fact. So I ask you, will you have the unwavering courage to believe first, to commit wholeheartedly, so that you might eventually see your dreams manifest before your very eyes? The choice, as always, is profoundly yours. Conquering fear through action, the compass to your contribution. Fear, my friends, is perhaps humanity's most ancient, most primal mechanism, a biological alarm system that diligently kept our ancestors alive in a perilous world teeming with predators and unknown dangers. Yet in our modern life, this same powerful system often preserves us not from physical death, but from profound growth, from reaching our full potential. The threats we often face rarely endanger our physical survival, but our legacy, our immense potential, and our ultimate fulfillment undeniably hang in the balance when we allow fear, in its deceptive power, to dictate our pivotal choices. Consider the extraordinary Harriet Tubman, whose story transcends ordinary courage. After escaping slavery herself, she could have remained safely in Philadelphia, embracing her hard-won freedom, savoring her liberation. Instead, she returned to slave territory an astonishing 19 times, risking recapture, torture, and brutal execution to lead countless others to freedom, with a formidable bounty of $40,000 on her head. Each perilous journey represented a deliberate, courageous choice to act despite overwhelming, debilitating fear. Tubman wasn't fearless, my friends. She simply, courageously refused to let fear make her decisions. "I was free," she famously stated, "and they should be free also." This distinction, my friends, is utterly crucial. Conquering fear doesn't mean eliminating it entirely. It means profoundly preventing it from controlling your actions, from dictating your life's trajectory. Fear itself is neither inherently negative nor positive. It is merely information, a signal. The profound question is, what will you, with unwavering resolve, do with this invaluable information? The paradox of fear, my friends, is that it diminishes not through endless analysis or meticulous preparation, but through direct, purposeful confrontation. You cannot, my friends, think your way out of fear. You must unequivocally act your way through it. Each courageous action taken despite fear, each step forward into the unknown, weakens its insidious hold, creating irrefutable evidence that powerfully contradicts its nagging warnings. This is precisely why even small acts of courage yield disproportionate psychological return. They begin dismantling the very belief system that cunningly sustains your limitations. Begin this transformative process by meticulously identifying your fear's physical manifestation, the tightness in your chest, the accelerated heartbeat, the incessant mental chatter that relentlessly generates worst-case scenarios. Simply recognizing these symptoms, these physical cues, creates crucial separation between you and the fear itself. You have fear, my friends, rather than being fear. This profound distinction creates the essential space for choice. Next, courageously reframe fear as profound excitement. Physiologically, they are nearly identical states. The profound difference lies entirely in your mental interpretation. Both involve an elevated heart rate, heightened awareness, and increased energy. By consciously relabeling these sensations as undeniable evidence of excitement rather than debilitating danger, you transform what was once paralyzing into powerful fuel for action. Most powerfully, my friends, adopt the transformative practice of fear setting rather than merely goal setting. Deliberately articulate your fears, meticulously identifying the worst possible outcomes of taking courageous action. Then systematically evaluate the likelihood of these outcomes, their permanence, and your undeniable ability to recover if they should, against all odds, occur. This profound exercise typically reveals that what we fear is rarely as catastrophic, as likely, or as permanent as our minds in their anxiety suggest. The ultimate conquest of fear, my friends, comes not from its complete absence, but from the profound discovery that you can act powerfully, effectively, in its very presence. This transformative realization that fear need not equal paralysis creates an unshakable foundation for bold, courageous living. You become dangerous to the status quo, immune to manipulation through fear, and capable of achievements that others dismiss as utterly impossible. So, I ask you, will you continue allowing fear to shrink your life into comfortable, unassuming insignificance? Or will you courageously use it as a powerful compass, unerringly pointing you toward your greatest, most profound contribution to the world? The choice, as always, is profoundly yours.
Conquering fear through action, the compass to your contribution. Fear, my friends, is perhaps humanity's most ancient, most primal mechanism, a biological alarm system that diligently kept our ancestors alive in a perilous world teeming with predators and unknown dangers. Yet in our modern life, this same powerful system often preserves us not from physical death, but from profound growth, from reaching our full potential. The threats we often face rarely endanger our physical survival, but our legacy, our immense potential, and our ultimate fulfillment undeniably hang in the balance when we allow fear in its deceptive power to dictate our pivotal choices. Consider the extraordinary Harriet Tubman, whose story transcends ordinary courage. After escaping slavery herself, she could have remained safely in Philadelphia, embracing her hard-won freedom, savoring her liberation. Instead, she returned to slave territory an astonishing 19 times, risking recapture, torture, and brutal execution to lead countless others to freedom with a formidable bounty of $40,000 on her head. Each perilous journey represented a deliberate, courageous choice to act despite overwhelming, debilitating fear. Tubman wasn't fearless, my friends. She simply, courageously refused to let fear make her decisions. "I was free," she famously stated, "and they should be free also." This distinction, my friends, is utterly crucial. Conquering fear doesn't mean eliminating it entirely. It means profoundly preventing it from controlling your actions, from dictating your life's trajectory. Fear itself is neither inherently negative nor positive. It is merely information, a signal. The profound question is, what will you, with unwavering resolve, do with this invaluable information? The paradox of fear, my friends, is that it diminishes not through endless analysis or meticulous preparation, but through direct, purposeful confrontation. You cannot, my friends, think your way out of fear. You must unequivocally act your way through it. Each courageous action taken despite fear, each step forward into the unknown, weakens its insidious hold, creating irrefutable evidence that powerfully contradicts its nagging warnings. This is precisely why even small acts of courage yield disproportionate psychological returns. They begin dismantling the very belief system that cunningly sustains your limitations. Begin this transformative process by meticulously identifying your fear's physical manifestation. The tightness in your chest, the accelerated heartbeat, the incessant mental chatter that relentlessly generates worst-case scenarios. Simply recognizing these symptoms, these physical cues, creates crucial separation between you and the fear itself. You have fear, my friends, rather than being fear. This profound distinction creates the essential space for choice. Next, courageously reframe fear as profound excitement. Physiologically, they are nearly identical states. The profound difference lies entirely in your mental interpretation. Both involve an elevated heart rate, heightened awareness, and increased energy. By consciously relabeling these sensations as undeniable evidence of excitement rather than debilitating danger, you transform what was once paralyzing into powerful fuel for action. Most powerfully, my friends, adopt the transformative practice of fear setting rather than merely goal setting. Deliberately articulate your fears, meticulously identifying the worst possible outcomes of taking courageous action. Then systematically evaluate the likelihood of these outcomes, their permanence, and your undeniable ability to recover if they should, against all odds, occur. This profound exercise typically reveals that what we fear is rarely as catastrophic, as likely, or as permanent as our minds in their anxiety suggest. The ultimate conquest of fear, my friends, comes not from its complete absence, but from the profound discovery that you can act powerfully, effectively in its very presence. This transformative realization that fear need not equal paralysis creates an unshakable foundation for bold, courageous living. You become dangerous to the status quo, immune to manipulation through fear, and capable of achievements that others dismiss as utterly impossible. So I ask you, will you continue allowing fear to shrink your life into comfortable, unassuming insignificance? Or will you courageously use it as a powerful compass, unerringly pointing you toward your greatest, most profound contribution to the world? The choice, as always, is profoundly yours, subtly programming your subconscious mind and meticulously shaping your choices without your conscious awareness. Like water gradually carving a magnificent canyon, these influences may seem utterly insignificant in any single moment, yet their cumulative impact, their relentless quiet pressure, ultimately determines the entire trajectory of your life. When you unequivocally recognize this immense power, you shift from being a passive product of your surroundings to becoming their deliberate architect, their conscious designer. Born into the bondage of slavery and facing the oppressive reality of post-Civil War Alabama, Washington profoundly understood that environment wasn't merely a passive backdrop. It was either a powerful catalyst or a formidable constraint for transformation. Beginning with nothing but an abandoned plantation, he meticulously crafted an educational environment that embodied excellence when everything around it suggested profound limitation. Students didn't just learn academics, they diligently built the campus with their own hands, creating tangible physical evidence that their futures could irrevocably transcend their oppressive circumstances. Washington designed not just buildings, my friends, but an atmosphere of boundless possibility that produced generations of remarkable leaders when the external environment stubbornly insisted on subservience. Examine your physical spaces with meticulous attention. Does your home office inspire focused, productive work or distracted, mindless browse? Does your bedroom promote restorative, profound sleep or incessant, mindless scrolling? Next, meticulously evaluate your digital environment. Do your notification settings constantly interrupt your deep thought, your focused work? Does your social media feed genuinely elevate your thinking or merely inflame your anxieties and insecurities? Finally, and most critically, assess your social surrounding. Do your 5 closest relationships genuinely reflect where you are courageously going or where you have perhaps been, anchoring you to the past? The profound insights from this audit often reveal uncomfortable yet necessary truth. The stark gap between your grandest aspirations and your current environment profoundly explains why willpower alone has often proven insufficient for lasting, meaningful change. No amount of transient motivation can permanently overcome an environment meticulously designed to subtly yet powerfully sabotage your goals. Remove insidious temptations rather than constantly resisting them, a battle you are often destined to lose. Unfollow influences that trigger comparison rather than genuine inspiration. Courageously distance yourself from relationships that subtly yet powerfully anchor you to outdated versions of yourself, to past limitations. Create space, profound, sacred space, before attempting to fill it with more aligned, more purposeful alternative. Then systematically engineer environmental triggers that make optimal behaviors nearly automatic, almost effortless. Place your running shoes prominently by the door if you are diligently building a fitness habit. Position inspiring books visibly throughout your home if you are cultivating profound intellectual growth. Create dedicated sacred spaces for creation that contain nothing, absolutely nothing, associated with mere consumption. If your grand goals unequivocally involve producing, creating rather than merely absorbing, diligently designing your environment is paramount. Perhaps most critically, my friends, curate your social environment with uncompromising selectivity. The research, I assure you, is unequivocal. You will inevitably become the average of the 5 people with whom you spend the most time. Their standards, their expectations become your new normal. Their limitations often become your ceiling, your self-imposed barrier. Choose these profound influences not based on fleeting comfort or historical connection,
but on undeniable alignment with your present trajectory, with your grand vision. Remember, my friends, that environment design isn't a one-time project, a fleeting task, but an ongoing dynamic practice. As your profound goals evolve, as your grand vision expands, your surroundings must transform accordingly. The environment that miraculously supported your growth yesterday may, in its subtle limitations, constrain your expansion tomorrow. So I ask you, will you continue allowing random circumstances, random influences, to shape your life's undeniable direction? Or will you courageously assume the architect's role, deliberately designing spaces, relationships, and powerful influences that make your highest aspirations not just possible, but utterly inevitable a certainty? The choice, as always, is profoundly yours. Mastering self-discipline, the invisible architecture of achievement. Self-discipline, my friends, is the invisible yet formidable architecture supporting every monumental achievement in human history. While talent creates immense potential and inspiration ignites possibility, only unwavering discipline transforms them into tangible, undeniable reality. The profound capacity to direct your actions according to your highest intentions, especially when immediate desires, those fleeting impulses, pull you elsewhere, represents the fundamental, undeniable difference between those who merely dream and those who courageously manifest their dreams into reality. Rockefeller, whose disciplined approach to life began long before his name became synonymous with unprecedented, unimaginable wealth. As a young clerk earning modest wages, he meticulously recorded every single penny of income and expenditure in a small, unassuming ledger he aptly called Ledger A. When most of his peers spent freely, thoughtlessly, Rockefeller systematically saved and diligently invested, regardless of how insignificant the amount might have seemed. He attended to business matters with clockwork regularity, avoided debt religiously, and maintained rigid, unwavering personal habits, rising at the same early hour and following identical morning routines decades before such practices became popular wisdom. What's particularly instructive about Rockefeller's profound discipline wasn't its mere presence during his success, but its unwavering consistency before any evidence of extraordinary achievement ever materialized. He didn't develop discipline after becoming successful. No, his immense success emerged as the inevitable consequence of disciplined action diligently sustained over decades. Even as his wealth grew to unprecedented levels, his methodical self-management remained utterly unchanged, a profound testament to his unwavering understanding that discipline isn't a temporary strategy, a fleeting tactic, but a fundamental, unyielding operating system for a life of greatness. This pattern, my friends, relentlessly repeats across all domains of human endeavor. Olympic athletes meticulously maintain training schedules whether they feel motivated or not. Literary giants consistently produce words daily, regardless of inspiration's fickle presence. Transformative leaders make difficult decisions based on unwavering principles rather than fleeting convenience. Their greatness, my friends, isn't built on occasional heroic efforts, but on the relentless compound effect of disciplined choices meticulously made consistently, diligently, when no one, absolutely no one, is watching. The paradox of self-discipline, my friends, is that while it initially appears constraining, it actually creates unprecedented, boundless freedom. By developing the unwavering ability to direct your actions regardless of emotional fluctuations, you gain profound independence from the tyranny of impulse, from the whims of your momentary desires. You become capable of sustained effort toward truly meaningful goals rather than remaining perpetually captive to fleeting immediate desires, a profound liberation that the undisciplined, sadly, never truly experience. Begin cultivating this transformative quality by recognizing that motivation is fundamentally unreliable, a fickle companion. It fluctuates based on sleep quality, hormonal cycles, recent experiences, and countless other variables utterly beyond your control. Discipline, by contrast, functions as a powerful decision made in advance, a resolute commitment to specific actions regardless of how you feel when the moment of action inevitably arrives. Implement this profound understanding by establishing non-negotiable protocols for your most important activities. These aren't merely routines, my friends. but sacred, inviolable commitment. Whether it's a morning writing practice, strategic planning sessions, or rigorous physical training, these commitments receive the same unquestioned adherence as would a crucial meeting with your most important client or esteemed mentor. Address the inevitable resistance by focusing relentlessly on initiation rather than completion. The most challenging aspect of disciplined action is rarely the activity itself, but overcoming the initial reluctance, the inertial drag to begin. Commit to just 5 minutes of engagement, knowing with unshakable certainty that momentum typically carries you far, far further once you have courageously started. Track your unwavering adherence to these commitments with meticulous attention. What gets measured, my friends, improves almost automatically as awareness creates undeniable accountability. A simple check mark on a calendar for each day you honor your profound commitment creates a powerful visual chain you will become increasingly reluctant to break. Perhaps most importantly, develop a profound relationship with discomfort. The disciplined individual doesn't instinctively avoid discomfort, but develops the remarkable capacity to function effectively within it. This isn't masochism, my friends, but profound pragmatism. The unwavering recognition that meaningful growth always unequivocally occurs at the very edge of your comfort zone, at the limits of your current capacity. So I ask you, will you continue drifting according to the path of least resistance, letting circumstances dictate your trajectory? Or will you, with unwavering resolve, harness discipline's transformative power to architect your magnificent life according to your highest, most profound vision? The choice, as always, is profoundly yours. The power of commitment, the absolute devotion to vision. Commitment, my friends, is the invisible yet incredibly powerful force that transforms mere potential into extraordinary, undeniable reality. When you truly commit to a grand vision, you create an unshakable, impregnable foundation upon which everything else meticulously builds. This is not, my friends, casual interest or conditional dedication. No, it's an absolute, unwavering devotion that utterly eliminates indecision and hesitation from your psychological landscape, leaving no room for doubt. Consider Isambard Kingdom Brunel, whose unwavering commitment revolutionized 19th century engineering. When creating the Great Western Railway, he didn't merely build transportation. He committed to fundamentally transforming how humans experience distance, how they traverse the world. This unwavering vision manifested in groundbreaking innovations like the broad gauge railway, which enabled unprecedented speed and comfort. When designing the majestic Clifton Suspension Bridge, he committed not just to spanning a gorge, but to creating a structure of such unparalleled elegance and enduring durability that it continues carrying traffic nearly 2 centuries later, a testament to his profound vision. His commitment wasn't to temporary solutions, but to reshaping possibility itself, to pushing the boundaries of what was conceivable. The distinction between mere interest and profound commitment is significant, yet often subtle. Interest, my friends, says I'll try this until something better comes along, a conditional, fleeting promise. Commitment, however, unequivocally declares, I will find a way no matter what obstacles, no matter what challenges emerge. Interest is conditional, subject to external factors. Commitment is absolute, unwavering. Interest fluctuates with changing circumstances. Commitment remains steadfast, unyielding regardless of external conditions. This profound distinction explains why so many individuals begin journeys of transformation, yet so few tragically complete them. Most approach their most important aspirations with fleeting interest, rather than with unyielding commitment. They enthusiastically start businesses, embark on relationships, adopt health regimens, or begin creative projects, only to tragically abandon them when inevitable challenges, those tests of resolve, inevitably arise. True commitment, my friends, isn't tested during easy moments, during periods of smooth sailing. No, it is profoundly revealed during trials, during adversity, during the crucible of challenge. Transform your relationship with obstacles by viewing them not as reasons to abandon your chosen path, not as insurmountable barriers, but as invaluable opportunities to unequivocally demonstrate your unwavering commitment. Each challenge courageously overcome becomes irrefutable evidence, strengthening your self-concept as someone who persists, who perseveres regardless of external circumstances. Most importantly, Understand that commitment isn't just about reaching destination. It is profoundly about who you become during the arduous, yet transformative journey. Through unwavering dedication to worthy pursuits, you develop profound character qualities that serve every single aspect of your life: resilience, integrity, discipline, and profound courage. So I ask you, will you continue approaching your most important aspirations with conditional interest, a fleeting fancy, or will you harness the transformative power of absolute commitment, becoming immune to criticism, becoming an unstoppable force? The choice, as always, is profoundly yours. Immunity to criticism, the tax paid for distinction. Criticism, my friends, is unequivocally the tax paid for distinction. The very moment you courageously step beyond the comfortable boundaries of conventional thought or action, you inevitably attract judgment. You draw the scrutiny of those who in their fear remain confined within them. This profound reality has sadly derailed countless magnificent visions. Brilliant ideas tragically abandoned, powerful voices silenced, and groundbreaking innovations halted, not because they lacked inherent merit, but because their creators tragically lacked immunity to the corrosive sting of criticism. Consider Mary Seacole, who courageously confronted the dual prejudices of racism and sexism in Victorian England. When the British War Office vehemently rejected her application to nurse soldiers in the brutal Crimean War, she didn't retreat, she didn't surrender to despair. No, she personally financed her own arduous journey to Crimea. There, she established the British Hotel, providing invaluable care for wounded soldiers directly on the battlefield. Despite relentless bureaucratic opposition and widespread social condemnation, Seacole profoundly understood that awaiting universal approval meant perpetual inaction, an endless paralysis. Her unwavering internal conviction unequivocally outweighed external criticism, allowing her to serve, to contribute when established institutions vehemently declared she couldn't. Developing immunity to criticism begins with a profound understanding of its true nature. Criticism generally reveals far more about the critic than it does about the criticized. Those most vocal, most aggressive about others' endeavors are typically least engaged in meaningful, productive pursuits themselves. This isn't mere coincidence, my friend. Creating requires a profound courage that merely criticizing does not. The anonymous crowds who disparaged Seacole's noble efforts contributed nothing, absolutely nothing, to the lives of the soldiers she courageously saved. Next, meticulously distinguish between constructive feedback and empty, corrosive criticism. Feedback is specific, actionable, and offered with a genuine, noble intent to improve. Criticism, however, is vague, generalized, and primarily serves the critic's own emotional needs, their own insecurities. Learn to welcome the former with profound gratitude while developing an unshakable imperviousness to the latter. Remember, my friends, that history's most transformative figures all endured scathing, relentless criticism. Gandhi was unjustly called a seditious fanatic. Einstein's revolutionary theories were dismissed as utterly absurd, and Martin Luther King Jr. was labeled an extremist by moderate contemporaries, by those who lacked his profound vision. Had they for a moment adjusted their magnificent visions to accommodate their critics, humanity would have tragically lost their invaluable, timeless contribution. Recognize with profound clarity that criticism often correlates directly with impact. Inconsequential actions, my friends, rarely attract significant opposition. When criticism intensifies, when it becomes more vocal, it frequently signals that your work is courageously challenging established norms, that you are pushing boundaries, and that, my friends, is precisely what meaningful change unequivocally requires. Develop a profound relationship with your critics that neither ignores their existence nor grants them absolute control over your actions. Acknowledge criticism without internalizing its corrosive venom. Consider its validity, if any, without being irrevocably defined by it. Extract any valuable insights, any kernels of truth, while diligently discarding the emotional charges attached to them. Perhaps most importantly, clarify your core values, your unwavering principles, and meticulously measure your actions against them, rather than against the shifting winds of fleeting public opinion. This internal validation system, my friends, provides unshakable stability amidst the constantly shifting winds of external judgment. So, I ask you, will you continue allowing the fear of criticism to constrain your profound contribution to the world? Or will you develop the unshakable immunity that enables unprecedented freedom of thought and courageous action, becoming a force for undeniable change? The choice, as always, is profoundly yours.
Harnessing the power of visualization, programming your nervous system for success. Visualization, my friends, isn't merely a feel-good exercise, a fleeting daydream. No, it is a powerful neurological programming tool with profound, undeniable scientific backing. When you vividly imagine achieving your grand goals, your magnificent brain forms the very same neural patterns as when you physically perform the actions. This mental rehearsal, this deliberate practice, creates a cognitive framework that meticulously guides your decisions, powerfully heightens pattern recognition for opportunities that others miss, and primes your entire nervous system for undeniable success. Consider Emmeline Pankhurst, who with unwavering resolve led the British women's suffrage movement. When female voting rights seemed utterly impossible in an era when women were considered mere property rather than citizens, Pankhurst visualized an entirely different reality, a world transformed. She didn't merely hope for change. She mentally inhabited a world where women's political equality was an established, undeniable fact. This wasn't wishful thinking, my friends. No, it was strategic cognitive positioning, a deliberate act of profound belief. By repeatedly visualizing women casting votes and holding political power, she meticulously programmed her mind to recognize pathways toward this reality that others simply couldn't perceive, pathways that were invisible to the uninitiated. This unwavering mental picture sustained her through harrowing imprisonment, brutal force feedings, and widespread public ridicule, ultimately helping to courageously secure voting rights for British women in 1918. Effective visualization, my friends, involves far more than casual daydreaming. It requires engaging all sensory dimensions, seeing the environment in vivid, precise detail, hearing the sounds of triumph, feeling the profound emotions of achievement, even experiencing the subtle sense and tastes associated with success. This multisensory immersion creates what neuroscientists aptly call embodied cognition, where your magnificent brain and body cannot fully distinguish between vivid imagination and actual physical experience. Begin practicing strategic visualization by creating a dedicated sacred ritual. Spend 10 minutes daily in a quiet, undisturbed space, utterly free from distractions. Start by profoundly relaxing your body and quieting your mind through deep, deliberate breathing. Then construct your vision with architectural precision, meticulously building each sensory element until the experience feels tangibly, undeniably real. Visualize not just the ultimate achievement itself, but also critically overcoming the specific obstacles you anticipate, the challenges you know will arise. This mental problem solving creates invaluable neural pathways that activate when you inevitably encounter these challenges in reality. Importantly, my friends, pair visualization with immediate purposeful action. The most powerful visualization ends with seeing yourself taking the very next essential step required, then physically taking that step upon completing the exercise. This creates an unbreakable, undeniable link between mental rehearsal and physical implementation, turning thought into action. Use physical anchors to reinforce your visualization throughout your day. Create a vivid vision board with inspiring images representing your grand goals, or select a small object that powerfully symbolizes your vision to carry with you. These tangible reminders trigger the neural patterns meticulously established during your visualization practice, maintaining profound neurological alignment with your goals amidst daily distractions and the noise of the world. So I ask you, will you continue navigating life with an undefined, unmapped mental map? Or will you harness visualization's immense power to program your nervous system for inevitable success, for the realization of your grandest dreams? The choice, as always, is profoundly yours. Turning setbacks into setups, the foundation of unprecedented growth. Every journey of profound significance, my friends, contains moments that in their appearance seem to be definitive endings, but are actually pivotal redirections, guiding you toward a greater path. These setbacks, these rejections, these apparent failures, these formidable obstacles represent not the termination of your grand vision, but essential calibration points that meticulously refine both your approach and your character, forging you into a stronger, more capable individual. When you develop the profound perspective to view these moments as setups rather than devastating shutdowns, you transform what breaks others into what powerfully builds you. Consider the extraordinary journey of Charles Goodyear, whose decade-long quest to create useful rubber seemed to many an exercise in utter futility. For years he endured bankruptcy, humiliating imprisonment for debt, and widespread ridicule as he tirelessly produced rubber samples that melted in summer heat and tragically cracked in winter cold. Conventional wisdom would unequivocally label such persistent failure as irrefutable evidence to abandon the pursuit, to give up entirely. Yet in 1839, when Goodyear accidentally dropped rubber mixed with sulfur onto a hot stove, he miraculously discovered vulcanization, the transformative process that made rubber stable and launched countless industries, from automobiles to aerospace. His failures, my friends, weren't wasted time. No, they were necessary iterations, essential experiments, meticulously leading to profound breakthrough. Develop this transformative mindset by immediately asking better, more profound questions when facing setbacks. Rather than the self-pitying, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Instead of the regretful, "How could I have avoided this?" ask, "How can I leverage this?" These powerful questions transform your relationship with adversity from that of a helpless victim to that of a strategic, empowered master. Recognize with profound clarity that history's most significant breakthroughs often emerge directly from apparent, devastating failures. Penicillin was miraculously discovered when Alexander Fleming's bacterial experiments were unexpectedly ruined by mold. Post-it notes resulted from a failed super-strong adhesive project, a brilliant failure. The microwave oven was invented when a researcher's chocolate bar accidentally melted near radar equipment. These weren't merely fortunate accidents, my friends, but the direct result of minds meticulously trained to see boundless opportunity in unexpected outcomes. Allow yourself a strictly limited window for disappointment, perhaps a mere 24 hours to process the initial sting. Then deliberately shift to opportunity identification. Document at least 3 potential advantages or invaluable lessons meticulously embedded within the setback. This consistent practice builds the neural pathways that automatically transform obstacles into boundless opportunities. Perhaps most importantly, recognize that setbacks develop profound capacities within you that success, in its comfortable ease, can resilience. Adaptability, profound humility, and innovative thinking emerge not from smooth paths, but from navigating difficult, challenging terrain. These invaluable qualities ultimately prove far more valuable than whatever immediate goal was temporarily delayed. So I ask you, will you continue allowing setbacks to define your limits, to constrain your potential, or will you courageously transform them into the very foundation of unprecedented, unstoppable growth? The choice, as always, is profoundly yours. Developing ironclad patience, active persistence through time. Patience, my friends, isn't passive waiting, a mere surrender to circumstance. No, it is active, unwavering persistence through time. It is the rare, profound ability to maintain unwavering commitment when tangible results remain invisible, when the fruits of your labor are still unseen. In an age of instant gratification, an era of demanding immediate results, true patience has become revolutionary, a profound act of defiance, separating those who create lasting impact from those who merely chase fleeting opportunity. Consider Samuel Morse, whose meticulous development of the telegraph powerfully illustrates patience's transformative power. Before creating the communication system that would collapse distance and revolutionize human connection, Morse endured years of devastating setbacks. Having courageously abandoned a promising painting career to pursue his grand vision, he faced widespread ridicule, crippling financial hardship, and countless technical failure. For 12 grueling, relentless years, he meticulously refined his invention while simultaneously developing the complex code language that bears his name.
During this extended period, no external evidence whatsoever suggested his eventual undeniable success. Yet Morse maintained what might be aptly called active patience, courageously continuing to refine, to improve, and to persevere without the constant fleeting validation of immediate results. This steadfastness, this unyielding commitment, ultimately transformed global communication, with the very first telegraph message fittingly reading, "What hath God wrought?" The distinction between genuine patience and mere passive waiting lies, fundamentally, in ongoing, purposeful action. Waiting is passive hope, a surrender to fate. Patience, however, is active faith, powerfully expressed through persistent, diligent effort. Morse didn't merely wait for success to magically appear. No, he worked methodically toward it, understanding, with profound clarity, that significant achievements require developmental timelines that simply cannot be rushed, that demand their own organic pace. This patience paradox explains why so many individuals tragically abandon promising endeavors prematurely. Studies unequivocally show that most people overestimate what they can accomplish in a single day, while dramatically underestimating what they can achieve in a year of consistent, unwavering effort. We often become impatient precisely when continued patience, when continued diligence would yield profound breakthrough, when success is just beyond our perceived reach. Developing ironclad patience begins with establishing accurate, realistic timelines for meaningful achievement. When pursuing significant goals, deliberately map backwards from the ultimate achievement to your present moment, meticulously researching how long similar accomplishments typically require. Most people, sadly, abandon ship exactly halfway through the necessary journey, mistakenly perceiving the challenging middle as the insurmountable end. Perhaps most importantly, cultivate an identity as someone characterized by profound patience, rather than merely viewing patience as something you occasionally practice, a fleeting habit. Embody it as a defining quality, an integral part of your very being. This identity-level commitment transforms patience from a temporary strategy to an integral, unshakable part of your character, your unwavering essence. So, I ask you, will you continue abandoning worthy pursuits when tangible results inevitably lag behind your immense effort? Or will you develop the ironclad patience that transforms initial failures into inevitable, undeniable success? The choice, as always, is profoundly yours. Building momentum through small wins, the power of incremental achievement. Success, my friends, rarely arrives in dramatic singular breakthroughs. No, it accumulates through consistent, incremental advances, through a relentless series of small, purposeful actions. This is a profound principle understood by all who achieve extraordinary outcomes, by those who leave an indelible mark upon the world. Each small victory, each seemingly insignificant step forward, creates neurological, psychological, and practical momentum that relentlessly propels you toward increasingly significant achievements, provided you recognize and diligently leverage these moments properly. Consider George Eastman, who, through relentless incremental improvement, transformed photography from a complex technical process into a commonplace household activity, accessible to all. When Eastman began, photography required bulky, cumbersome equipment, fragile glass plates, and highly specialized knowledge. Rather than attempting a single revolutionary leap, he meticulously implemented a series of modest yet groundbreaking innovations. First, creating dry plates that eliminated the need for immediate, messy development. Then, developing film rolls to courageously replace the fragile glass plate. Later, simplifying camera design with meticulous precision, and finally introducing the iconic Kodak camera with its revolutionary, empowering slogan, "You press the button, we do the rest." Each advancement, my friends, built directly upon the previous one, creating an undeniable, cascading momentum that eventually democratized photography worldwide. The science behind this approach, my friends, is utterly compelling. Neurologically, each small win releases dopamine, that powerful neurotransmitter, creating a natural, self-sustaining reward system that powerfully motivates continued purposeful action. Psychologically, these victories build profound self-efficacy, your unshakable belief in your ability to accomplish challenging goals, creating a powerful positive feedback loop that encourages increasingly ambitious targets. Practically, each small win generates invaluable resources, new knowledge, and strategic positioning that enable larger subsequent achievements. To harness this immense power, begin by breaking larger, seemingly overwhelming aspirations into their smallest viable actionable unit. Instead of focusing exclusively on the daunting task of writing an entire book, celebrate completing a single page. Rather than fixating on building a successful business, acknowledge securing your very first customer. These small yet significant milestones provide the crucial neurological fuel necessary for sustained, unwavering motivation. This consistent practice makes progress visibly clear when larger goals remain distant, creating tangible evidence of forward movement during inevitable plateaus. During those periods when progress seems to stall. Reviewing this invaluable record diligently reminds you of the momentum you have already diligently generated, preventing discouragement from halting your profound progress. Implement deliberate celebration rituals following each small win. These needn't be elaborate or grandiose. Perhaps a quiet moment of profound reflection, sharing the triumph with a trusted supporter, or a small personal reward that acknowledges your effort. These rituals anchor the achievement deeply in your memory and reinforcement systems, strengthening the neural pathways that drive productive behavior. Strategically sequence your goals to create cascading momentum. Identify which small wins naturally lead to others, creating chains of achievement that meticulously build upon themselves. This approach transforms isolated victories into interconnected, unstoppable progress. Perhaps most importantly, shift your attention from distant summits to the next achievable step, the next immediate win, while always maintaining a profound awareness of your ultimate grand vision. Focus your working energy on the immediate next win within your reach, on what you can accomplish right now. This present moment attention prevents overwhelm while ensuring consistent, undeniable forward movement. So, I ask you, will you continue fixating on distant, elusive breakthroughs while tragically overlooking the invaluable small victories available to you daily? Or will you harness the transformative power of momentum through incremental achievement, step by deliberate? The choice, as always, is profoundly yours. Living as if success is certain, your self-fulfilling prophecy. The certainty of success, my friends, is not a mere emotional state, a fleeting feeling. No, it is a strategic position, a deliberate, unwavering stance that fundamentally alters how you perceive formidable challenges, how you make crucial decisions, and how you meticulously allocate your invaluable energy. When you operate from this profound position, you powerfully activate what psychologists aptly call a self-fulfilling prophecy, where your unwavering expectations literally help create the very conditions that fulfill them, that bring them into being. This is not, my friends, magical thinking or wishful dreaming. It is a practical, undeniable approach to achievement that profoundly transforms your relationship with obstacles, turning them into opportunity. Consider Nikola Tesla, whose unshakable relationship with certainty produced groundbreaking innovations we still rely on today. While working as an employee under Thomas Edison, Tesla envisioned an alternating current AC electrical system that profoundly contradicted his boss's direct current DC approach. Despite Edison's ridicule and active opposition, Tesla maintained absolute, unyielding certainty in his grand vision. This wasn't mere stubbornness, my friend. No, it was strategic conviction that enabled him to persist through crippling poverty, insidious sabotage campaigns, and widespread skepticism from the scientific community. Tesla didn't just hope AC would work. He operated as if its success was utterly predetermined, already a foregone conclusion, which gave him the unshakable resilience to overcome extraordinary, seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Today, the entire electrical grid powering our modern world runs on the AC system he envisioned with such profound certainty. This certainty, my friends, manifests in subtle yet powerful ways. When you are unequivocally certain of success, you interpret setbacks, those inevitable bumps in the road, differently. Not as irrefutable evidence of potential failure, but as invaluable navigational data, meticulously guiding you toward your inevitable destination. You ask better, more profound questions when facing obstacles, not should I continue, but how must I adjust my approach? This profound perspective shift prevents the energy drain of continually reconsidering your fundamental direction, of questioning your core path. Certainty also profoundly transforms how you allocate your invaluable resources. Those uncertain of success hesitate to fully commit their time, their energy and their capital, creating precisely the very conditions that prevent the success they desperately desire. Certainty, my friends, eliminates this self-sabotage, allowing you to deploy resources with the unwavering conviction necessary for profound, groundbreaking results. Begin cultivating this profound certainty by speaking definitively about your grand vision. Eliminate tentative language like "I'll try" or "I hope to" from your vocabulary, replacing them with powerful declarations. Use "I will" and "I am." This isn't mere semantic gameplay, my friends, but powerful neurological programming that fundamentally shifts your very identity and consequently your actions. Next, conduct a pre-mortem on rather than imagining what might go wrong. Visualize your success as already completed, as a tangible reality. Then, work meticulously backwards to identify what must have happened to make it utterly inevitable. This powerful exercise creates a detailed roadmap while simultaneously reinforcing the profound certainty that your destination is fixed, unchangeable. Only the specific route, the precise path, remains to be courageously determined. Perhaps most powerfully identify profound references, individuals who achieved similar outcomes to what you seek. Study their journeys in meticulous detail, recognizing that if success was possible for them, it is equally accessible to you with sufficient commitment and strategic adjustment. So, I ask you, my friends, will you continue approaching your most significant aspirations with tentative hope, with passive longing, or will you courageously adopt a transformative certainty that converts every obstacle into an undeniable stepping stone toward your inevitable magnificent success? Your future, my friends, is shaped by the decisions you make today, by the choices you make in this very moment. Act as if every single choice matters, because unequivocally it does. Take charge of your destiny. Move with profound purpose and watch before your very eyes as your life transforms, step by deliberate, powerful step. The path to greatness begins with a single decision. Make it count. Make it powerful.